Cool. And to begin, the Doctor will choose. We'll choose. Well, it looks like my PDF's corrupted somehow. Never mind. I will choose. So I want to choose a different one than what you have all chosen, but as a captain, I am slightly restricted in that I cannot choose the one that I really want to choose, which is only if we have the time, Captain, which is a side quest mission. So that leaves me with I Never Did Trust You, Blowing Off Steam, and Who Do You Think We Are? So I'm going to go with Blowing Off Steam. Which is, I think we ended last time, didn't we, with the TARDIS going through like some sort of, you know, interdimensional turbulence slash engine meltdown slash, you know, technobabble disaster. So I think that having popped through into the Rubicon Nebula, the site that's known across all in time and space as one of the world's, the multiverse's best sightseeing opportunities for all level 2, level 3 civilizations. And the Doctor turns around and says, "Now look, wasn't that worth it? You know, come here, see these sights. It's amazing." Yeah, we arrive at the viewing platform, I suppose, which I kind of imagine as this huge, like, kind of like a drive-through, maybe, with all the spaceships all lined up, and maybe like a huge lens kind of thing. And there are little kind of like jetpack waitresses and waiters, like going in between the vehicles. Obviously you can all, there's no hard vacuum here. You can have your helmet off and be open in space, and we can all just lean out the door, kind of thing, looking at the thing. Maybe we set up a little deck and chairs, kind of just outside of our TARDIS on the big platform. So my chosen partner. I'll go off the wishes of last time. I think my chosen partner will be Sky. This is one of those scenes though where everybody can be involved. Others can join freely. So during the conversation, anyone can ask for details about the relationships and the circumstances. We conduct the conversation by taking turns. The character who's most uncomfortable in the setting takes the first turn. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that's probably Sky, right? The Doctor doesn't strike me as someone who's uncomfortable in any circumstance beyond injustice. And yeah, on your turn, choose one or more people and choose an action. Ask an awkward question, reveal something personal. So I would say that we're all there, but shall we play it like we're the two people? This is a scene between the Doctor and Sky with the other characters involved as well. So we can ask awkward questions or reveal something personal or engage in improvised conversation, blah, 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 between everybody. But it'll be between the Doctor and me, like choosing those rather than open to the table. If that no one disagrees with that, then
one question. The caught up in something happening in the setting, that's also an option, right? And leave the conversation, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, that is essentially, you get distracted and you leave the conversation entirely, kind of thing. You see some Cybermen, some Cyber Brits hanging out on the other side of the thing, and you lurch over there with your claymore. Yeah. Cool. So, Sky, what would you like to do?
So it's a drive-through that we're at. Like what kind
Like a drive, I imagine it more kind of like a drive-through cinema type thing.
Yeah.
Like it's such a huge spectacle that it's kind of like a huge, instead of a screen, it's like a kind of lens across this Rubicon Nebula, showing all the colors and things of wherever, and it's kind of like the restaurant at the end of the universe in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, sort of thing. One of those like completely nonsensical nexuses that interdimensional and space travelers might attend. But I was thinking of the 1950s diner that we were in previously, and thinking, you know what, let's continue a theme, and having there's like a table service, and you park your ship on a platform, and you can sit outside, and the doctor's brought out a bunch of folding, like very British 1970s 50s sort of style well, the same as I would have in Germany, I'm sure, fold out metal chairs and plastic benches and so forth.
Okay, so
The doctor is, I think, wittering away about how, we were passing through this these like continual coordinates or whatever, like however the TARDIS travels things. So it would have been rude not to show you this. I always wanted to take you. Well, I mean, she always wanted. Well, that's me, really. But yes.
All right. So nobody else is in the scene right now, or is it just is it?
As and when we establish, I think the crew as total, they can be, you can, on your turn, you choose one or more people and choose an action, and they are there if you choose an action, or they may go off and get involved in something else or whatever.
So I'm gonna go with I confess to my feelings about someone who's not here with us. Actually, do I?
Oh, one thing I meant to say actually was what we talked about at the end about the echoes, the companion's voice calling across time, the companion that was lost in time that we don't remember. Our mission, although I think we don't really fully know it, we think it's just resolving these problems, right? Is essentially to bring them back, I imagine, in Doctor Who spirit, right? And it may have unleashed other enemies in doing so. And of course, all the viewers of last season are well aware of this. It's just the characters who don't know.
Sorry, I'm kind of struggling to pick a question here.
No worries. If you want, I can.
Maybe you could roll a die.
Oh, yeah.
Just, I mean.
Okay. I bring up an unpleasant memory between you and the captain.
Okay.
So I think Sky.
Maybe the doctor limps to the table. Like drops his cane or something.
Yeah. You never recovered from that injury after regenerating?
So far, no, but it's an imprecise thing. One time I ended up with 6 fingers. Can you believe it? It was most strange. That faded rather quickly, but for now, the old I'm trying to think of an alliterative way of saying sonic cane. The sonic stick is helping me out most nicely.
So the question is, like, how do you set the record straight after all these years? So if and I think I'm like I think Sky doesn't quite buy that. It just seems I don't understand what's the point of regenerating if you don't heal everything. I thought the whole point of it was like.
Well, so did I, but it's rather fascinating, don't you think? I mean, this is the first time anything's happened like this, as far as I can remember. Not that I can remember everything. But, you don't still feel bad about it, do you?
No. I had good reason for doing
it. And what was that reason? Sorry, that's one of the things. Well, that's why I'm hoping that we've learned to use our words rather than our weapons, Sky. Just take, well, and he looks around at the table at the heavily armed group of companions he's surrounded himself with, and he says, I think perhaps that lesson might be still underway, perhaps.
Rosie off CR at the table is kind of fiddling with the claymore.
A spark coming out.
Oh.
Anyways, where is the service? Oh, Marcus, simply, if you press that button over there, they'll send over one of the waitresses. And I will... accidentally let us slip a secret that's not mine to tell. I think as... secret that's not mine to tell. I ask you about someone else here, actually. Obviously trying to gauge your true feelings about me. Yeah, I say, I think as Marcus goes off to get the thing, I look over at Marcus and I say, well, do you remember when we first met him? Remember he pissed you off quite nicely then as well. Dressed in a smart suit, telling you all about the protocol and the synergizing methods and how, we just needed to all get on board with the vision of this, of the corporate enterprise. Never felt like poking a knife in there?
He was on the wrong side, so... Yes.
I seem to remember you were on a rather different side than you thought back when we first met.
I'd already figured it out, though.
When you stabbed me, yes, that's the strangest part. I suppose, Sky, what I'm asking is, how long before we forgive our enemies?
Our enemies or our friends?
Well, I'm blessed to have to have made both of them at the same time when I met you and when I met Marcus.
As
And
I recall,
I'll be honest,
you have a hard time telling the difference between the two at times.
Well, it does get confusing when you the person you've known the longest is the master, I have to admit. And I think back over to you, perhaps. Oh, I've got the perfect thing for this. And the doctor will, I think, unless you want to, I will say if you want to do something with the ones that are about me, then do feel free to say that the doctor pops back into the TARDIS to bring out, this cup of tea or whatever, the thermos full of Beetlejuicean blend that he's got just prepared for this.
Okay. So I tell you what I really think about our captain and our mission. So I'm picturing like Sky is sort of perched on top of the police box,
Right.
and just sort of pokes her head down at the Rosie. Has he told you at all what we're actually supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about the echoes, right? Haven't you heard them?
Heard whispers, some asking about the doctor.
Yeah, see, you've heard them, I've heard them, I think Marcus has heard them too.
So what? Some obviously some extra dimensional being is pissed off at him again, and we're supposed to help him deal with it.
I don't guess. I mean, I've heard them at home in Scotland, so I don't know what it is that is, if it's pissed at him or if it's pissed at all of us. Because if it's pissed at me, I really want to do something about it. And actually, I mean, one last hurrah, I guess. Not getting any younger. And I kind of enjoyed it. The whole traveling around. I mean, where I come from, you see your village, and then once in your life, maybe you see the big city. But that's it. I got to see this.
Exactly. Sorry to interrupt, but that's always been the thing, right? Whether we like or agree with the doctor or not, he's most often the only one standing between so many planets and total annihilation. So we don't have much of a choice either. If we let someone or anyone really harm or kill the doctor, then we all are doomed. So the way I see it is, let him make a thing, support him if you must, but don't feel too attached. He's always the one running away, leaving you behind, leaving everyone behind, really.
Yeah, and he will again. But maybe we can figure out what's going on and take something good from that. I mean, when I met him, I didn't know how to fight a Cyberman. And Rosie brandishes or lifts her claymore, but now, I mean, I can poke them with this.
Yeah. We've learned many things along the way. So, saving planet Earth once more, I guess. Cheers.
Are we saving? Are we saving planet Earth, or are we saving? I don't know what we're saving. We're saving something. Here's the saving.
And the doctor will come out with the Beetlejuicean blend, and then clink it to your glasses and go, "Yes, here's the saving, everyone." He beams at you all and sits down. And as he's drinking, this takes me back. I haven't been here since. It's been a long time. I think when was it? It was when I had that robot dog, and yes, and Miss Sarah Jane was with me, and yes, we were. It's beautiful, the supernova that is going off in about 5, 4, 3. Oh, there it goes. But anyways, yes. I understand that we didn't exactly leave with a good goodbye. I normally like to at least try, but it's all been such a mess, you understand, and they never get any easier. No matter how long I do this, it always seems as though things just get messier and messier and messier. I suppose that's kind of the fun of it sometimes. I think I was trying to trigger that. I allow myself to relax and let down my guard. I tell you about an important moment from my youth that shaped who I am today. I kind of wonder if these would work better as like prompts to the other person rather than ones that you're choosing, like when you reveal something personal, in fact, the other person has to reveal something personal, kind of stuff. Because I would have loved to have known more about Sky's youth as a warrior monk catkin.
Are we?
We can, if you want. We can say that the spectacle ends and we all get caught up in it, or our food arrives.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to pick here, so
Yeah.
Yep.
Then let's go with that. And is there anything that anyone would like to choose? Let's open it up. Otherwise, let's say. I am never quite sure with the scenes where it's just open to everybody how you really manage that and the action economy kind of thing. But if no one else wants to, Sabine, you don't want to, and Mario, you don't want to, then we will all watch the birth of a new galaxy as a black hole implodes and the nebula shimmers in the radiation that comes off, and whatever happens. And then we'll go on to all the players of this game draw a card. So I think everyone can draw a card.
I got a 6.
I got a 9. And a 3. So we all get our tokens then.
Okay. 2 tokens. I will give one of the tokens to the doctor.
Oh, wow. Thank you. puts me on 9. So I will give. I think I will give 1 token to the veteran as well, to Rosie.
Cool. One of my tokens will go to Sky.
Cute.
Okay, we're looking healthier on tokens. Or I'm looking healthier on tokens, I say. So that is the first full round of things. So, who chose first last time? It was Sabine. Would you like to
It was
choose
you
one?
last time. I think it was you who chose the first. No, it was me who chose the first.
Yes,
right?
I did the recruitment
Right.
because I'm in the doctor's in every
Right.
scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's me again, I guess. And I think, I mean, you said you wanted to only if we have the time, Captain. Let's have the time here.
Yeah, I mean that's a
For a
really
bit.
fun one, isn't it? You get to do a side quest basically.
Yeah, I like having a side quest. Okay, I will read this out before I start making decisions. Setup. You must play this game with the captain. The captain cannot choose to play this game. The game can only be chosen once per player. Others can join freely if it makes sense for their characters to also be present or engage in this away mission. Sorry. During the away mission, anyone can ask for details about the relationship and circumstances. I've never asked anything. I just noticed because we always have the permission to ask stuff and we never do. We should, I guess. Okay, conducting the away mission. The player initiating the mission follows the stages and their instructions. Player can decide to withdraw at any stage at any point, choosing to fail the mission. The captain makes choices or answers questions when asked to. When asked to draw cards and interpret them, do so intuitively. Okay, cool. So I guess, yeah, we start out, I seek out the captain and steal them away from everyone else. And, okay, so okay, yeah. So Captain, what task am I interrupting?
You are interrupting like the doctor with a huge like chunky pair of Bluetooth headphones on, and then with like this sort of like Minority Report like holograms all around him showing like audio clips of the echoes kind of thing, and he's like listening to it all. It looks as though he's listening to it all, and yeah, he like oh, Rosie.
And then I get to ask you, Captain, how does my distress and worry show?
Rosie is not someone who often shows any kind of distress and worry, in my opinion. So how would it show? I think it's in the eyes, like slightly less fierce than normal kind of thing. The first sort of glimmerings of doubt kind of thing.
Oh, I like that. Cool. So then I draw a card and describe the mission I need to go on. This is your chance to prove your loyalty to me, Captain. I tell you what's at stake if we should fail. So I draw a card before we start. I'm drawing this one. It's the 5 of, I think it's spades. So a mission focused on deception, tactics, and seeking the truth. And 5 means I know I can't do this without you and tell you how I feel about this. Okay. So I think in this case, I will say to you that you remember that when I first joined up with you, I had this harp, belonged to my grandmother, and I lost it somewhere near the Vortex, and I think I saw it again. It was in this one of these shop thingies here on this station thingy here, and I would really like to figure out how it got here and maybe get it back. But it was in possession of one of these robot thingies, and I'm bad with robot thingies. And what I can do is I can poke them, and then they overload and then make sparks, and they don't like that. But that's probably not the right.
You are very
right
good at
way to-
breaking them, Rosie. Yes, just come in handy.
Yeah,
Well, yes, we can certainly look at the your harp. It looks like a rather fine instrument. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll simply, if only we had a time machine and we could trace its how it ended up here at the station. Luckily,
I have a time machine.
yes, and a space machine.
Well, then I guess we should prepare. And there's stage 2, preparations. We need to prepare for this mission, but I'm distracted. I choose you answer. Okay.
Should we perhaps establish where the harp has passed through before? As in, like, I can't imagine we're going to take the time machine to not just this tourist shop, but like to the adventure around the harp kind of thing, like how it got to here.
Yeah.
So during a war, or maybe during like a symphony or something, like a kind of famous.
Oh, yeah. I think what happened was that we were figuring out some kind of sonic maybe sonic mind influencers who we could then face down during this symphony, and this huge there was this huge thing where we were trying to undo the sonic disturbances that put all the people under their mind control.
Cool. So that'll be our side mission then. Yeah, like that's what we're doing in this mission. I think maybe like when we look up the harp, it's like, oh my god, that's in Ventrosius's Fifth Symphony, and then it's like this Mozart level composer, and I'm like, oh look, if you look at the holograms, that's the harp, Rosie. Great, we can go catch his concert, and we'll go to there, and then as we go about this mission, we'll uncover the whole psychic mind.
Oh, okay. No, I thought that was the mission where I actually lost the harp.
Oh, okay. I figured it was from back in you left it near the Vortex back in your time, kind of thing. Like,
no, I think I took it and I lost, or maybe it was rather undramatic. I left it somewhere and we had to rush off, and then when we came back, it wasn't there anymore, and we had to rush off again.
Maybe you left it on the TARDIS when it disappeared into the Vortex at the end of my regeneration.
Oh, okay, yeah. I like that one. Cool.
Because then it can be connected to the echoes. Because obviously that companion was on the ship with me when the echoes when they disappeared. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So for preparations, I have to say we spent some time together, and you finally see how much time has changed me. What part of me from the past is gone forever, and what is taking its place? It's interesting.
Ooh, what part of you from the past is gone forever? Rosie's pretty dedicated and determined. I'm struggling to think of what she would allow to be taken from her. I think that actually your anger has gone, and it's just what it's replaced with is just like cold determination, like kind of just solid certainty that this is the right thing to do, as opposed to like, burn it down and I'll smash it apart.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you. I love it. Okay. Now the away mission. The captain and I leave the ship. Whoever wants to come along does as they wish. Who else comes along, if anyone? Do you want to come along?
Yeah, I'm armed to the teeth, and just always covering your backs.
Oh, we have to be in our finest space dining wear, obviously.
Well, I'm from the 32nd century, so my weaponry is all hidden under the suits.
Yes, nice.
It's all cybernetic implants and stuff.
Yeah.
Neat.
Sky would want to support Rosie, but is probably not sure how to help in this. So she'll be there, but more for like more moral support.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the Doctor Who, if we're all along, then we don't have to have like an idea at the start, kind of thing, because it's Doctor Who, right? They always show up and everything's fine, and then discover the evil things beneath the surface, kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Sky is like reluctantly coming along, like like, well, sure. I mean, it's just music, right? So that's it. Are we all coming along? What weapons or equipment do we bring, if any? Marcus is already armed to the teeth. I think maybe. No, I don't know if I want to take that away from you. I was going to say, would the Doctor be like, you won't get in with that, dear, to Rosie for the Claymore, but I don't think I want to take away the...
I think she figured that pretty much for herself, that you can't take a Claymore to a concert. I mean, she probably wouldn't even have wanted to, because it's unnecessarily aggressive. Even though she usually doesn't use the Claymore to hit people with it, it's more about the electric pulses that thing sends out. Still,
and it wouldn't go
maybe
with your
not.
shoes. It definitely wouldn't go with your shoes either, and they would talk.
I don't mind people talking, but no, I won't risk that. They won't let us in.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And Rob, do you think it goes without saying that Sky's definitely got blades and her claws, of course, at all times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take a purse.
Yes. Yeah.
There is one of these. What is the thing that horses have on their feet? Horseshoes, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of them. Is in there for luck.
Nice.
For luck.
For luck, and something heavy, of course. Nice. What do we see as our? I guess what do we see as the TARDIS? Comes out of the sky in that sort of thing and lands or fades into existence.
Well, maybe it's just like it's a concert, right? So is it more like a like a really fancy old concert house, and we have like box seats or something, and we just see an aerial view of the concert hall, and all of a sudden the tower disappears, and we just step out and like sit right into our seats.
Yeah, I think that because it's obviously wacky Doctor Who concert thing, it's I think it's kind of like a mix between a big old-fashioned concert and a huge stadium concert at the same, like a huge like outside. There's like a mosh pit at the front, but also all of us in our finery on the higher levels, kind of stuff. Ravers in little masks, kind of things, of all different species. Cool. So Sabine draws 3 cards, and then we take it in
and
turns.
then we take turns.
Yeah.
Try how the mission goes based on the cards drawn. Anyone on the crew may spend 1 token to discard a card and draw another. Okay. Cool.
So
okay,
some
I'll
things can
just
go wrong
go
in the
and
side mission,
draw.
basically.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just. Where do I put this there? I'll maybe just put them away so we can. Okay, I will draw cards. This one and this one. See, there are all the face cards.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, and they don't Okay. Take the highest. Tenor royal. Ha! Unless somebody wants to discard all of these
well,
cards.
no. So you draw 3 cards, and we'd play
Yeah, but somebody could say, "Wow, this is a success. I don't want that to be," and I spend 3 tokens and redraw them. That is technically within the rules.
Oh yeah. I forget that because it's kind of rolled into the second part as well, isn't it? The same 3
Mhm.
cards, take the highest. So it's
I'm gonna spend 1 to replace one of those spades, just so you've got something different.
Cool.
I'll replace the queen.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I guess.
Nice.
Okay.
There is no mention of shuffling in the rules, so I've just played it as we draw from the deck until it's gone, kind of thing.
Okay. Okay, so this is really nice. Okay, I will. I start? We take turns. Okay, Captain
Yes.
and I take turns. So I guess you start.
Okay, sure. Go with the clubs because that was the first wrong card.
Mhm.
I choose. There are explosions. There are definitely
Yes.
explosions. Lots of them. Was this planned or spontaneous?
I think it
Yeah.
wasn't planned by us, maybe, but it's kind of, maybe it was part of the performance and it went a little bit too far. I imagine that we realized that something was wrong when the curtains caught on fire and the singers started to kind of lose beat a little,
Yes.
lose their rhythm.
And I think that was one of the stage managers trying to sabotage whoever, this mind controlling music kind of thing, but trying to do it secretly so that they don't get, like discovered by the brain controlled people in the crew kind of thing.
Ooh.
But our mission is a queen, a royal. The mission is a success. How does it go off better than we hoped? How does it inspire the rest of the crew? So, how do we respond to this, these explosions, I suppose, like in this concert?
I think we use them as cover to get behind, to get backstage, basically.
Nice.
Like maybe we could pretend to be fighter experts.
We definitely run in and like the doctor diffuses like the malfunctioning electronics at the thing. Like we get backstage and when people question us, he whips out the psychic paper and is like,
the psychic paper. I forgot about that.
We're janitors, of course. Look.
Wow, cool.
And
okay.
How does it inspire the rest of the crew? I think how is it like a good, like a moment of coming together kind of thing.
Maybe it's kind of like old times. Maybe everybody has something they actually can interact with at this mission point.
Sure.
So what do I've got to fly. What do the others do? I'm curious.
I think like there are some mind-controlled people that try to get in our way, and Sky does sort of martial arts sequence, but and there's like a terrible moment where the blade comes out, and people are like, "What?" But she uses the flat of the blade to knock people out instead.
Nice. And I think that's actually our first like realization that there's mind control people here, kind of thing. They try to attack us, like and
they're
Marcus.
They're a little.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the thing is now that I really hate this situation because actually I don't want to give a shit, but when I see people panicking, and maybe I just know somebody or quite a lot of people would get trampled to death. I just have to rush in, and then like standing there, and maybe like 2 more cyber arms pop out of the side of me, and then I just have to redirect people so that everybody that falls has like these few seconds to stand up, and I'm like all over the place, and then an arm here and arm there, and I just slightly push people into a direction where they won't trample others. And I'm like, I'm so annoyed. I'm so exhausted. I don't want to do this. Why do I have to do this? This is not my job. I'm not here for saving those people. I'm here for saving like the bigger picture.
Someone's like, I'm going to talk to your manager. This is disgraceful. Stuff like, yes. Cool.
And I think Rosie is actually talking to the manager because, I mean, the doctor is doing the technical stuff. Sky's hitting people. Marcus is doing crowd control. So I have a free place. So I think I will try to charm the conductor. And Rosie can be pretty charming. I mean, she's from the country and she can play the naive country girl. Still, maybe it's more like a naive country grandma at this point, but she will still talk.
She's also got a beautiful singing voice. Like,
oh, I do. Yes, yeah. I do. Absolutely. I can. I will speak to this conductor, and I will tell him about how lovely this is, and and ask all kinds of naive questions about the symphony and things like that, and where did that come from. And he is quite excited because they only recently acquired the sheet music to this, and there was this eccentric rich person that would give it away for nothing, and is amazing, and yeah, well, stuff like that.
Nice. Then it's you to choose a.
Yes, I think it's me. What do we have here? We have I think we had clubs right now, right? Or did we have spades? Yeah, we had clubs. So we have spades and heart left, right? Yes. Okay, spades. Ooh. Okay, nice. Spades. I think I leave the hearts. For last. I choose the spades. And I think we are betrayed by someone or something. Why won't we believe it? And with the king, the mission is still a success. How does it go? Better than we hoped, and how does it inspire the rest of the crew? So I think maybe this conductor is like, oh yes, I will absolutely show you to the room where we keep the sheet music, and the rich person is waiting. So kind of, this rich person will absolutely adore meeting all of you. You are so fab. Come with me. This is the best thing. And then he will take us to this huge room with the echo. And there are lots of sounds echoing, like musical notes and things like that. And maybe the echo that we were following is here as well. And then when we are there, he will close the door behind us, say something like, "You will make a fine addition to the choir."
Yes.
Yes.
And I was thinking that what we see is the band, like, like a sort of like a group of instruments and everything, as the lights come up, and it's Cybermen behind the it's electro music, electronic music, and like the Cybermen are like, enable full sonic control, kind of thing. You cannot stop the Cybermen. And they're weaponizing.
Cannot stop the cyber song.
Yes,
La la
exactly.
la.
They play Kraftwerk. But obviously, we get out of that. Marcus, Sky, Rosie, how do you, how do the companions save the Doctor and everyone from these? Marcus?
Yeah, I'm thinking because I should be trained in disabling Cybermen.
You can hack
I'm just waiting for a really good cinematic idea on this.
I can imagine you like hacking this, you know, like playing like sonically canceling it out or something, or remixing it.
Or maybe I just then recognize that there's this new super fancy modern popular soft drink, and that has a lot of salt in it. And I do know Cybermen don't like salty, watery stuff because they will corrode at some point or something like that. And then we have like all of a sudden we have this super cinematic thing where I try to bring the crowd. Like I've been trying to save them, and then I try to convince them to throw all the soft drinks onto the stage.
Oh no, I think we're in another area now. We're in a trap kind of thing.
Oh,
the conductor has put us into a music room filled with death, kind of thing. The rehearsal room of death, it says. And the red light goes on as we go inside.
Yeah, then it's plain old-fashioned fighting, dodging out of the way, fighting again, and yeah, maybe some Jackie Chan kind of style where just at the end we see like all of them piling up or something like that.
Cybermen dances. Rosie?
Yeah, I think Rosie has noticed her harp because this is a success actually, and that harp is kind of weirdly connected with some cables to loudspeakers and stuff, and she will dash up and grab the harp and stop. The harp is playing itself actually, and then she will wrestle a bit with the harp and then take it and play something like, I don't know, Ferrata or something like that. So some old Scottish folk song.
Nice. Cancelling out the music and I think stopping the mind control that's sort of like having an effect on some of us, kind of thing. Like maybe Marcus is like shield, like, you know, Marcus just like turns off his hearing, and Rosie's hearing's not been quite the same since that claymore cannon went off, maybe, or I don't know.
I will inform you that Rosie, he is just fine, young man. Just fine.
I heard that. Yes. So then that leaves the last one for me, the hearts. I finally leave behind our shared past. Do you let go or hold on? I finally confess my truest feeling to you. Do you accept or deny them? You know, I think the Doctor Who thing is the confess the truest feeling, accept or deny. You know, and I think that the Doctor will say, you know, like, as you saved us all, kind of thing, and the Doctor will be like, it's good to save people, you know, but you can't. One thing we both know, Rosie, is that you can't always save them all. But I hope you know that I will always try, no matter what, to save any of you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, Doctor. I know you try. So do I, in my own way.
I've always thought you more of a doer, to be honest, Rosie.
Hmm?
I've always thought of you more as a doer, to be honest, Rosie. Anything you try, you tend to do.
Yeah, but try to free the Earth from Cybermen. So that didn't. So I haven't yet, but
Oh,
you know,
I'm sure.
while there's life, there's hope, and I learned that from you, and guess that's enough.
Nice. So it's a mission, it's a success, and then some. So I think that maybe the then some is that we get a recording from, like as a kind of trophy sort of thing of the world's most, the galaxy's time's most beautiful and harpist playing your grandma's harp kind of thing, and we as we're playing that, the music changes into "Doctor, help us, help me," like echoing out across the thing, and we all hear that. And we're able to follow that in some way in the TARDIS to, like onwards kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that. Yes, that this is a direct clue. Maybe we hear some sort of background noises that that Marcus's cyber ears might suss out some kind of background noise that exists only in the Polonius cluster or something.
Yeah, nice. Cool. How do we celebrate, I suppose?
Yeah,
Well, we
just wanted to ask Rob, should we catch you up, or did you get everything?
No, I was away. Sorry, I had to get the shopping in.
Oh, okay. We were led into a trap, and there was some kind of there was a cyber and there was a cyber man who was playing Cyberman Death Punk, and Marcus hit them, and the Doctor fiddled with a sonic screwdriver, and Rosie picked up her old harp and wrestled it kind of from the apparatus where they had integrated it into, and then started to play Scottish folk music. So that's how we actually won.
And now we've heard the voice again, and we've got next coordinates, and so yeah, I guess debriefing.
Debriefing. Oh,
yes.
No. I think I've looked at them. I think we find reasons to celebrate. I'm riding high on the euphoria and adrenaline. Do you let loose with me or hold me back? Where does the next morning find us?
It's got to be a Scottish Highland dance, right?
It can be. Sure. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it can be just a few of us, and I'm trying to teach Sky and Marcus how to Scottish Highland dance.
Yes,
and I will try to teach you. I mean, with our matching limbs, it should be a hoot.
I think the Doctor's rough at first, and then he goes like, "Oh, wait a second, when was it? Connor showed me this one." And I can't remember what the name of the actual Doctor who was a Highlander from like the second Doctor, but and he dances the jig with you. And cool. So are we done with that one? Yes, we're done with that one. What does it say for the tokens?
Yeah, we must do a loyalty draw now.
Yes.
We draw 2 cards each. Wow. I just put them, yes, these away, exactly. Start out. Okay. Somebody drew the cards for me.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Oh, which one?
Yeah,
were
I
you
mean,
go-
we have. I mean, we
got-
had a nine. We have a 9 and a queen and a
That was
3
me.
and a. Okay.
Because I understood the captain and it's only the players. Sorry, I misread.
Yeah.
I read the players.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Oh, okay. Cool. Which one
you
were yours?
the bottom ones were mine.
Okay, so I'll just do 2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not great, but okay.
I can recall and shuffle them all if you'd like.
No,
Okay.
I'm good. That's okay.
Cool.
That's
Well,
fine.
you get a lot of
That's
tokens.
5 tokens. That's 5 tokens. That's fine. I will give one of us each a token, and I will keep 2 for myself because I'm such a selfish person. I'm sorry. I apologize.
thank you. Okay.
And I draw a 3. That's 1 token. And a royal, which is another token. And I reveal how this mission has changed me. I am starting to flash back to our companion.
Oh, yes.
Whoever they were. And I think I would like to say that we could all start adding in those details, kind of thing, like if we wanted to as we go. Like I don't want to maybe say like I don't want to define it all right now, but as we go along, we could be like we see that person at a TARDIS deck, or like it reminds us of a similar situation or whatever kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Well, I just want to add, because for the next scene, I would have to set up. I would have suggested an idea, because on my look there is an old photo, and as I'm from the future, it's an old photo from the future, and I suggested that was my partner back then who died somewhere along our battles. And I'm not sure if we want to go that road, but maybe someone that is connected with my ex-partner.
I
or my
was
dead
thinking,
partner.
Yeah, cool.
I was thinking that when they were erased from time was that last climactic scene where the Doctor regenerated afterwards, kind of thing. So the Doctor came back, but this person didn't. None of us knew that they didn't come back because we just written out of time. But yeah.
And now there's this picture, and I don't know to whom it belongs. Like who is it? I know it's something personal. There is a handwriting. There is it's signed for me. I just don't know who is that person.
Things from the past are definitely showing up that were that would have been there before, and now, yeah. Cool. So I got 2 tokens from that. I'm going to give them both to our reformed and our broken. So our broken is now at 6, reformed at 7. Cool. So, do you guys want to do a break? Yeah. Cool. Do a break and then we'll do the rest.
Shall we meet back at 20 past?
20 past. Let's do 20 past. Yeah. I was just reading up about the silence because for the life of me, I couldn't remember what do the silence actually want, you know? And it's one of those very complicated Doctor Who things where I don't think I could possibly explain it or even fully understand it.
I thought they wanted to do something about time travelers and didn't like that, or wasn't it something like that?
It was something to do. So basically, there's like a fixed point in time, and that's how they've predicted the Doctor's movements. And they need to kill the Doctor because they know that he will ask the last question, and after the last question is asked, silence will fall across the universe. But there was one thing that I saw in there that comes in like a small detail later on. It says that the silence origins are that they were like priests, like penitents, who would confess their sins and then forget about their confessions immediately after giving them, because that was the whole gimmick of the silence, is when you looked away you forgot that they existed, kind of stuff. And I was thinking like maybe in the 32nd century the silence are kind of like like editing like the web, kind of history and things like that, like on the like that's the cyberpunk war that Marcus is engaged in, maybe. And I was thinking maybe we can make something about that, and someone's been erased from time, so maybe like actually destroying history rather than forgetting it. Perhaps that feels like maybe it would tie in to that. Like maybe the silence were the bad guys who we fought at the end of last season, and so they might be part of whatever we go into now as we continue, kind of stuff. But in any case, I think it is now Mario's turn to choose a round.
Yeah, and I just reconsidered what I said earlier a little bit, because I sort of want to have a scene with Sky, but the ones left are pretty.
Oh, you can do another one again.
So
you can just choose any of the ones. You don't have to do a brand new one, kind of thing. I just I didn't want to repeat when we've just done 3, because there's more. The other ones are like you can kill someone basically in that one. So
yeah, it's I'm not really sure about Marcus's and Sky's relationship. So clearly they have been traveling for a while.
Could do another thingy. What's it called? The one where we fought, kind of thing. We encountered the enemy, just like old times, kind of thing.
Okay.
Battle can be interpreted, because that's the one that to me screams like any dramatic scene in Doctor Who. Like.
True. Is that okay for you? Can we have Sky and Marcus in such a scene? Okay. So. Okay. Conduct a fight. The player. Okay. So the other player conducts the fight. Then we take turns, leading the crew through a series of 4 turns. On your turn, choose one.
So I think you decide together how the two of you ended up in this predicament, whatever the predicament is. And I don't really know what it means by the other players conduct the fight. I think perhaps we could throw in like... Well, no, I don't know how that means how the other players conduct the fight, to be perfectly honest with you. You take it in turns, choosing one of those options, basically. Tell a crew member to choose a vulnerability challenge. Oh, I see. You tell somebody else to choose a challenge or a vulnerability. That's it, of course. And you and Rob take it in turns doing that. So what's the predicament, I suppose?
So I was wondering, what was Sky's biggest enemy so far? and maybe now that the thing is, we just broke this kind of silence thing. So and we start remembering people, and then this photo came up, and then we saw somebody, and maybe I just said it would have been my partner, but there could also be just somebody I came close with while traveling with you. So maybe that's just somebody and I grew close to. So somebody I'm just friends with or something. But I think it's more interesting that this is somebody that you would also know, and now we sort of fight this common enemy of ours, and maybe that's your arch enemy.
The thing. So out of the enemies that from the show, the one that would be most connected to Sky would be the Master.
Okay. That's a bit much, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a sect of your old assassin clan kind of thing, like kind of still follow the master.
Yeah, maybe they're still around. Yeah.
So maybe the pitch is I was I came in with the doctor, and the doctor had this whole big show off thing going on, and I snuck into the basement, and I'm all about to free you two. And now I've came to your to the place, like your room. You had been held captive, and we just broke free, and now we're fighting our way out because all hell break loose at some point because the doctor said something nobody understood or something like that.
I tell you what, maybe the doctor is fiddling with the TARDIS in this scene. You know what I mean? Kind of stuff like this is a companion battle while the doctor solves like the other threat in the TARDIS sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. To me, that would be like a super interesting setup. So the doctor brought us in. We on our own, and we try to escape. And we have that other person that connected this whole thing with us. So we get to know that person on the way out.
Somebody that the old companion maybe saved back in the old series. Like.
Yeah, or maybe it even is the companion, one of the companions. I don't know. I don't mind actually. Yeah.
Well, your turn to tell us to choose a challenge or a vulnerability. Tell one of us to choose a challenge or a vulnerability.
Is it my turn or Marcus?
If you want.
Okay. I'll ask the doctor to choose a challenge.
Okay. One of you wants to show off and prove you've outgrown the other. It'll be too easy for the enemy to take advantage of our pride. Draw a card. Should I just draw the card, I guess? And then is a black. One of us reacts too late. The enemy gets a good hit in. So who reacts too late and gets hit by the enemy?
I'll take it. I think which one of us do you think would be the more prideful? Like,
well, at this point, it's just a job, and if the job itself is not really at risk, I have no pride in anything whatsoever. I'm just here to get the job done.
Yeah, okay, so I think Sky wants to Sky still feels like she failed in some way and is still trying to make up for that. So she rushes ahead and takes on some of the other warriors by herself, and gets knocked, like, really powerful kick. She gets knocked into the wall.
No.
Cool.
Yeah,
And
that
then
sounds hot.
I think it's Mario to choose one. I think, unless you've got anything else. Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I'm just catching up, and I just lift you from the bottom while just shooting everywhere. Well, we established I have 2 extra arms, so I just use that again, and I'm just wildly shooting on like to enemy, like killing enemies on the 3 corridors leading to this crossing. And then I help you up, and I'm like, I thought you'd be quicker. I think it's a good time to live up to your reputation.
Ooh, burn.
Yeah, and then just like rushing onwards. And maybe we're connected over communication with the doctor. So maybe we can have vulnerability from the doctor here.
Can we give one to Rosie, perhaps, just so that I'm not doing all of them?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
sure.
Okay, that is a vulnerability. I got to choose one, right? Okay. Ooh. The enemy. I like the idea of the. Wait a second. No, I think I like the idea of the enemy gives it their all and unleashes their secret weapon. What would that secret weapon be? What would that look like, Mario?
I think we have to give this question to Sky, because we're fighting her people, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. So, Sky, what's the secret weapon here?
I think the secret weapon is probably some super, some super fighter like character, like the. Oh god.
Laser pointer of doom.
Yeah.
I'm reading it aloud, so you will remember this when you watch the video. So, okay, super fighter.
Yeah, so they've maybe got special weapons on them, some sort of claw extension, their claws have been upgraded with cybernetics.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, but maybe they have something that would actually negate cybernetics, because that would be far more dangerous to Marcus. Like, okay, we have a cat with long claws, but that cat could snap its fingers, and then suddenly we see that Marcus has to struggle to get the cyber arms to even work, and that's and I think at that point I will. I will push you out of the way and take the worst of it, because I mean, I'm just a gun okay, I've got a cyber eye, but I don't really need that. And you take a token. Do you take a token from me, or do you just take it?
No.
Oh, you take a token. So I guess I push you out of the way of this super fighter anti-cyber cat, and I guess I tussle with the cat for a bit, and maybe I come up again, but yeah, like I'm a bit scratched up, I guess, and by a bit scratched up, this is probably a euphemism. So, but I've still got the claymore, which doesn't work on the cat, but because it's not a cyber cat, damn.
Yeah. Clearly, you try and get it sparking, and you bang it off the wall a couple of times, like.
Yes, yes, and find it, and eventually I get the idea that maybe I can just hit it with the claymore, I guess.
So I think it is now Rob's turn to ask you to choose one, Mario, and then it will be your turn to ask Rob to choose one.
Yeah, so I will ask to choose a challenge.
Okay. And I think in this situation, I think it's most interesting. One of us recognizes an enemy, a traitor who was once one of us. They know exactly what to say to get under your skin. And I think, okay, so this all was a setup. This was a trap. And the person that came to reach out to the doctor and asked us for help now reveals that that person is the traitor. And we have the same, you see, history is repeating. We just had that in a concert. Now we've been betrayed and led into a trap again. Something is really working against us. There is something bigger going on. Getting the card. Okay, red. We know how to get under their skin too. Okay.
Could this be, in the episode where Sky fought, or perhaps the catkin, like the other monks that she showed the right way appeared occasionally throughout the last series, and this is like, like the friendly, like the Lando type character. You know what I mean? Kind of like the not part of the main group, but just slightly off to the side that was previously like loyal, and it's like, no, they've shown me the way, kind of thing. Like it was I was working for them the whole time. Or does that sound good? Or yeah. Have you drawn the card?
It was red.
Yeah. Red. Yeah. Cool. So, how do you get under the skin, I guess, guys?
Yeah, I think that's the part. Like the betrayal has been revealed, and that hurt us really deep because we've been friends with them, or we thought we would be friends. And I mean, they had to offer us something that sounded like real emotional, or something that we thought, okay, this is like really urgent. We have to get in there. We have to help. And now it's like we can't turn that back, and we can't say, well, is this really what you wanted to happen? So is this really what this all was for? Like now with this outcome, like we will get away and you will be left behind. And
so there's the kick-ass like catkin fight, obviously, but then like the dramatic sort of like, and what was it all for? For nothing, kind of thing. As they lie defeated on the thing. Nice.
Yeah. And I would like to give the token to Sky, because this is about her people.
Okay.
So then, Mario, you choose challenge or vulnerability from Rob.
Well, I think there will be a last challenge we have to clear on our way out. So.
Okay, so we've done the other two. So one of us wants to execute a complicated move that served us well in the past, but it's been a long time since we pulled this off. Draw a card. Did you draw one?
I did not. I think you can draw that card, right?
Okay, so it's a black. We're hopelessly out of sync and end up in a bad position. So you tend to use guns, and I use swords and claws. So like maybe there's like there's a move that we used to do that where I deflect your bullets. You know, I deflect your bullets so that they go in an angle they couldn't otherwise. Like I bend the bullets for you, so they well, not bullets. Like let's say stun blasts.
Okay.
Because we're Doctor Who, we're not Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So I bend the stun blasts, or at least that's what I'm supposed to do. But it strikes my sword wrong, and the stun energy like conducts through the sword into me.
Ooh.
First standing on end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then player with the most tokens chooses an ending. So who got the most tokens in that that round? So you only won 2 tokens, so you're split, aren't you? I guess. So
yeah,
you know, who's got the most tokens between the two of you? Let's say in total. The Reformed has just by 1. So Mario, choose an ending to the fight.
Okay, I want to go with we win, but just barely. The enemy gets away and takes something important. And I think we've seen a person that betrayed us. And then we just see the TARDIS closing the door and starting to travel through time and space again. And we see that a person comes around the corner and tries to catch up with us, but we don't see it anymore. And it's the person that betrayed us. And while the TARDIS is leaving, we see how the expression on their faces, like going from exhaustion to utter disappointment, because like we got to them and therefore they thought, oh well, maybe I should join them, and then they were gone, and there is no chance for them to ever reach out.
Cool. And then I draw a card to get the last tokens. I feel like we should be near the end of the deck now. I got an 8, 2 tokens. So Rob decides how to split those 2 tokens.
I'll give one to Marcus and one to myself.
Cool. And then it is you to choose a scene, Rob, if you would like. And I am thinking just to tell everybody that I am going to forgo my last scene and just go straight into the final mission.
So I was thinking I'd go with only if we have the time captain as well.
Cool. Yeah.
But I need to be right back just quickly.
Yeah, sure. Do you guys want to take a 5-minute break now, and then we can play through, or is that? I know we just took one, didn't we? Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You just go, but you just go, Rob. Sorry, we'll just wait. I'm not very good at managing the time, I think.
Now it took me way more time to get my head around scenes this time because we had so much going on, and I tried to pull some strings together. And also, I'm distracted. I just after our last session, I bought the most recent season of Doctor Who because for some reason I totally missed that.
Yeah, I watched most of that the other, 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I think she's a pretty good doctor. I enjoy the crew of people, but they're also from up in Yorkshire near me. So it's I've been, Huddersfield, the town where she starts off in, and yeah, that's near me basically. So
yeah, it's like I still have a bit mixed feeling. I'm only one episode in. I just before we started playing, I had time to watch an episode, and I think this season started off way stronger than the last, because last time I sort of missed the overarching story. It felt more disconnected than previous seasons.
Yeah, but old Doctor Who used to be very, very disconnected. And I mean, even the new, there were in old Doctor Who, there were long storylines, but they were all 5-6 parters kind of stuff, or ridiculously long parters. They weren't they were all one long episode basically, with different things happening as they were. And then when the new season came back, I feel like they kind of took that American thing of having a season plot and then episode monsters of the week in between, and then but as time went on, they got more and more in that sort of big season plot rather than just ongoing adventures kind of stuff. Because it was there was Donna, and then there was Clara, and then there was Rose. Everybody had a big long storyline.
Also, I just remembered maybe something that was different is that we with the last Doctor we had this whole crazy story arc coming all together, and then this whole confessional dial episode and everything, and it was so crazy, and everything sort of came together, even though it wasn't really connected to other stories, but it felt like the Gallifreyan thing came to a closure at some point, and now they have to come up with something different. That's harder.
Yeah, well, as we'll see, everything old will be new again. Yeah. Should we, Rob? Do you want to do your away mission?
Yep. So must play this game with the Doctor. The Doctor cannot choose to play this game.
Yeah, I can't choose it from my options, basically, if I was choosing.
Yeah, okay. It can only be chosen once per player. Others can join freely if it makes sense for their characters to also be present or engaged in the away mission. During the away mission, anyone can ask anyone for details about relationships and circumstances. So the player initiating the mission follows the stages and their instructions. The player can decide to withdraw at any stage at any point, choosing to fail the mission. Captain makes choices or answers questions when asked to draw cards and interpret them, do so intuitively. Okay, so stage 1. I seek out the captain and steal them away from everyone else. Doctor, what task am I interrupting?
The Doctor is in a room on the TARDIS that you don't recognize as you come inside, and the Doctor is looking through pictures and papers and mementos and things like that that's all over the place, and everybody else, the viewers, will recognize this as the scene, the quarters of our previous companion, which has now reappeared back on the TARDIS. The Doctor will just look, look distracted and sort of like go, like step out of the corridor and close it behind them and just say, you never quite know what you're going to find in this old girl. But with significant look to indicate that he knows more than he's saying, kind of thing to the camera.
Doctor, how does my distress and worry show?
You if we hadn't already used the first standing on end, I would have gone with that one. But you can't stop moving, like you're pacing backwards and forwards around up and down the corridor, like tails swishing backwards and forwards, like aggressively in the air, kind of thing, agitated.
Okay, so I draw a card to describe the mission I need to go on. This is your chance to prove your loyalty to me, Doctor. I'll tell you what's at stake if we should fail. So I already drew I drew a 5 of hearts, which means it's a mission focused on relationships, emotions, or making amends. And I think Sky will tell the Doctor that she needs to go on a quest to basically she needs to regain her honor, sort of thing. Like
your warrior monks, right? Like a pilgrimage type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She feels out of balance, and she needs to go and find her way again. And she doesn't feel like she will be able to continue if she doesn't do so. Nice.
I like that. So we need to prepare for this mission, but you're distracted.
Yeah.
You choose I
answer. We spend some time together, and you finally see how much time has changed me. What part of me from the past is gone forever, and what has taken its place?
I think that your pilgrimage must be to some kind of like warrior monastery, maybe like some sort of kung fu monastery kind of thing, like like where you all trained originally before you joined your order, kind of stuff. On some crazy like space kung fu world, and yeah, I think that there's like a kind of like a cleansing sort of ritual type thing, where you have to like meditate in silence or whatever for purify yourself for so many days or whatever before you go in, and the Doctor's the only one who can attend you during this process. Maybe does that sound like within the key thing? And I can see how much time has changed you, what part of you from the past is gone forever, and what has taken its place. So I think that the part of you from the past that is gone forever is I think that maybe like your order of warrior monks once kept like their target, like a kill list, kind of thing, like a tally list sort of thing, like some sort of jewelry, or I was going to say tattoo, but I don't see that working with a cat. So I think like some sort of necklace or bracelet or something, that had all of the, like, you could read it in a way to say how many people you'd taken out in the name of justice, really in the name of the master kind of thing,
Mhm.
And it's gone. And I think that what has taken its place are mementos of the people that we've saved.
Yep. That sounds good to me. So, stage 3, the away mission. The captain and I leave the ship. Whoever wants to come along does as they wish. So, first of all, who else comes along, if anyone?
I feel that I will come along just because, moral support. You came along for my harp mission. I will come along for your warrior monastery mission, Sky. So I'm here.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'll pass this time. Just see where it goes.
Okay. What weapons or equipment do we bring, if any? I think Sky brings no weapons except for her claws.
Yeah. And the doctor, sonic screwdriver. That's it.
Well, I think I bring my harp then, if it's no weapons.
Oh, the doctor just doesn't bring weapons anyways. I think Rosie has to bring it because she's like, bring no weapon but that which you find in the arena or whatever, right? Like the sort of warrior thing. I can fully imagine Rosie with a claymore in the audience, like, because it's clearly like an amphitheater for this sort of stuff.
No, she's bringing her harp.
She's got the harp.
Yeah, she's bringing the harp,
Nice.
not
Cool.
not the claymore, because, this is a warrior monastery, and a claymore doesn't sound like you use it in a monastery. She's from Scotland in the 16th century, which is basically pretty much, I imagine, kind of high church or Catholic or something, and you don't bring weapons into monasteries there.
True.
Okay. And what do we see as our shuttle flies close to our destination?
I think that it's not really as our shuttle flies close to the destination. Yeah, but I don't think it's even that. I think that we've already kind of arrived on this planet, but I think this is like the arena of challenges, like where you're going to be facing your tests, kind of thing. And I would say that given this is Doctor Who, clearly something can go wrong with the tests, and we have to jump in to join in the test with Sky at any point for future bits. But yeah, I'm imagining like a classic sort of like warrior arena style thing with platforms and like pit traps and things laid around the room, and as little or as much technology as we want that to be. So you draw 3 cards.
Yep. Okay, so I got King of Diamonds and a 2 and an 8 of Clubs. And anyone in the crew, even if they're not physically present, may spend 1 token to discard a card and draw another.
Okay. Oh, I realized we overcomplicated it last time.
Yeah,
the highest card only counts for the actual full mission rather than each particular scene. I did quite enjoy doing it that way, to be fair.
Yeah, I liked it as well. I will spend a token to discard the 2, so we have a chance for another. It's not called color, but I forget what it's called. Suit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll draw another one in. And it's Queen of Diamonds this time.
Well, I will just spend another one, and oh, I'll spend another one. No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it at that. We're going to stick with fate. If still have to do the final mission, I forget. Okay.
Okay. So we take turns, Captain and I, to describe how the mission goes based on the cards drawn. It doesn't say who goes first, so
It's up to you.
Let's see. Diamonds. I don't want to. I want to use that one later.
Okay.
So clubs then.
Cool.
There are explosions, lots of them. Was this planned or so spontaneous?
I think that it's not explosions, but it is a spontaneous. It's more like one big explosion of like some cages, maybe like a big monster kind of thing that's kept for some other thing, like a wild beast that roams this planet that they'd captured, kind of thing. Breaks free of its cage and smashes into the arena, standing towering above the sky. Not part of the test, originally, kind of thing.
Okay. And then it's your turn.
Cool. I choose then the other club. One of us goes too far and gives into our passions, I suppose. What happens?
I think it doesn't sound like something the doctor would do, so it's definitely.
Well, I was wondering if you definitely want to. The only way I could think of it for the doctor would be that Sky might be in trouble, right? And even though he's sworn not to jump into this arena with you because it's sacred and everything, it's like the passion for the doctor would be saving people, right?
Yeah,
so
that works. Yeah.
Cool. Well, if you don't want to take that, then I would love to. As all of the warrior monks and priestesses and priests kind of like look onwards and just nod serenely as this scene of utter carnage appears in front of us. The doctor hops over the amphitheater. Then it's you for the last diamond.
I think. I can't. I know what I would say for I leaves behind something valuable and irreplaceable, but I didn't bring it with me specifically. So.
Okay. But you said that you didn't bring it specifically. That could just be what we saw on camera, and actually you've had it hidden on you the whole time with your ninja skills. And that's kind of the dramatic reveal sort of thing, is that you lied, like, or it was still too much to leave it behind, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I pull out the sword and revealing that I brought it along with me, and even the doctor looks disappointed, like, and in the last moment, rather than use the sword to try and fight the beast, I plant the sword in the ground firmly and face the beast with just my claws.
Nice. Do you think that maybe the sword gets broken in the fight? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You plant it in the ground and then, you swing the the beast into it, and in the wreckage we just see the pieces, like that final shot kind of stuff. Well, anyways, the highest card is a king, a royal. So yeah, it sounds like the mission was a success. You beat the beast that would normally take a full class of monk masters to beat, kind of thing. And we leave behind the shattered, your shattered sword.
Okay, so how does it go off better than we hoped, and how does it inspire the rest of the crew?
I imagine that Sky is like lightning fast again now, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that it inspires a leaving behind of weapons, because we've had this. I mean, Rosie left her claymore. Sky has left her sword. Maybe that's where this is going. Maybe that's the inspiration. That we don't need weapons. I mean, that's the Doctor's whole thing, right?
Oh, I like that. Nice.
And then stage 4 debriefing is just you and me now, Captain. I choose your answer. I admit to you how wrong I was and describe how I have failed you. Do you accept my apology or deny me any wrongdoing? Why? So Sky is going to bow her head in shame and say, you were right. I went too far, and I swore an oath to protect life, not to take it.
The Doctor will look very, very seriously at you, and, the dramatic sort of tension, and then just break into a big smile, scoop you up in a big hug, and then hold you for just slightly too long, and then go, well, this is awkward, isn't it? Let's put you back down again and pat you. Like, sorry, just big moment and everything. Anyways, yes, cool.
She just laughs.
Nice.
It's the first time she has laughed in a long time.
In this entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I do feel as though we have played a full season of Doctor Who, to be honest, in this. Like, this was the meta plot and the individual episodes in between. I'll just get rid of all of the cards that we've put down, and then I will draw... We both draw 2 loyalty cards each, so I will draw to the bottom.
Okay.
I get 6 tokens.
So I got a 9 and a jack. So that's I take 3, and I think it's obvious how the mission has changed me, but I will say that as well. So I'll give I'll give 1 each of the 3 tokens to the rest.
I'm about to give 3 tokens to Rosie, and if you want to give Mario a token as well, that puts us roughly.
No, I'm fine, thanks.
So how many tokens do you have, Sky?
So I have 8. I take 1 for the royal, and then I've got 3 more to spread out. So I will give. I'll give 1 to Mario, 1 to myself, and 1 to Rosie.
Cool. So that puts, yeah. And then, what do you say, guys? Should we have a break and then do the final mission? Does that sound good to everyone? Would 1:15 work for everyone? Yeah.
So reveal how the mission has changed you.
Okay.
So Sky decided to leave behind her weapon and has renewed her oath to not to protect and not kill.
Nice.
And
Yes.
just to restate that. So.
Oh yeah, cool. See everyone back at roughly around 1:15 then, I guess. So this is the last game everyone plays. Once more into the Vortex. So I think I'm imagining like this finale episode taking place in somewhere. I think I'm imagining it taking place where we finished last season. You know, one thing that's occurred to me is that maybe, no, you know, I'll wait to see if I get an ace, and then I can share that revelation about our shared past, kind of thing. But you know, I think maybe it's got needs more agreement. So, like, what if, you know, the way that we all were separated from each other? What if that wasn't how it ended on the TV show? What if last season we were actually all together until that very last episode, and then this season we've started off with the kind of like the wrong timeline, where the Doctor's team fell apart before we could, you know, and then we erased it because this companion was erased from history, and because of the lack of this companion, the team fell apart, kind of thing, and we're living in that alternate timeline kind of stuff. But it's all sort of coming back together again. Does that sound good to people?
And maybe we haven't been like that obvious because with new Doctors come new companions, and we were just bystanders, and now we see that scene from last season, from the last season finale, and then we see the main companions, but also us standing around them. So that's how we know all the other companions and everything.
Oh no, I don't want to make it that you weren't the main companion. I think you were definitely still the main companion.
Yeah, for this season for sure.
yeah. I'm just not sure. I feel like I want to have had a whole previous season with the sunnier versions of these characters as well, and this is the kind of Days of Future Past style thing. Because otherwise, we're making you extras. You were extras for a whole season. Which is a clever idea. Very fourth wall.
I mean, sure, could have happened, right? You have these random extras you will see every once in a while, and they're the same. And the next season, suddenly these extras are the companions, and you're asking yourself, "What's going on here? Who are these people? And why are they? Why do they suddenly matter?"
I would watch that TV show for sure. I think that's maybe slightly too meta for the Doctor.
Doctor Who can do anything.
That's true. It's true. I'm just imagining the fan backlash at that one. Like, rewriting history.
I don't think that they are too worried about fan backlash in Doctor Who, right?
That's true. Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. But so I'm imagining our final mission in the space where we lost that companion, which, I don't know, like maybe it was like the Large Hadron Collider, like, you know, underground, like in the sort of thing, and we're back there again, but it's all really weird because like these echoes are now catching up, kind of thing. You know, does that sound good to people?
So we're in this Large Hadron Collider. We are all separated. Did I get that right?
No, we're not separate. I'm just framing like whatever takes place in this last episode kind of thing takes place in or around this. Yeah. We will just basically draw our loyalty cards now, and then we will each undergo a challenge that we have to draw a card and then spend tokens to overcome. So I just thought it was important to set the broad scene kind of stuff because so everyone draws a card. Sabine, if you would like to draw first. That's 10. And then Mario, if you would like to draw. So Sabine takes 3 tokens. Mario takes 1 token. You can only keep them or give them to me. That's the option here, basically. Rob, if you would like to draw a card.
I would give mine to you. Sorry.
Okay. I mean, I won't take that agency away from you. If you would, so that's 1 token from you, isn't it, Mario? Yeah. And I draw 1. I get a jack. I get to introduce a complication before the mission even starts. And okay, the complication before the mission even starts, I have to give away 3 tokens, so I have to remove 3 tokens. So thank you for giving me that one, Mario. That's come in handy. The complication is...
So first, I gained 3 tokens, and I'm giving each of them to everybody else.
No, you can only choose to keep them or give them to me in this final one. So
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, I'll give them to the captain, the doctor then.
Okay, cool. This complication does not set the doctor back, but at what cost to his crew? So the complication before the mission even starts. I think that I think that the effects of this on the Large Hadron Collider, I think that as a Large Hadron Collider turns on, time, all those stupid ideas of like it causing a black hole and whatever, right? Like, turns out that it was true. It freezes time, but causes all kinds of anomalies and like parallel versions of things coming through and stuff like that. Does that sound good?
Well, yeah, I've still got a question. Is this giving the tokens away? Is this an either or can I split the tokens? Can I say I give you two to you and keep one for myself, or?
Yes, you can choose how many of each you want to give on to keep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'll give you 2 and keep 1 for myself.
Nice. Doctor's coming into this OP. Yeah. So that's the complication. All kinds of timey-wimey parallel universe stuff is happening. If you want to fight your goatee-wearing evil doppelganger, now is the time, I think. Although I think technically you are in the darkest timeline as it stands. So, so there are 7 challenges. We go around the table. On your turn, you choose a challenge to face, answer the question, draw a card to reveal the outcome and the cost. If you cannot pay the cost, you choose one of those options, which will essentially take you out of the game unless somebody else is willing to pay the cost for you. And in terms of paying the cost for you, I think I would also allow that to be somebody else could choose one of those options as well. Like if you ask somebody else to pay the cost for me and they don't have tokens as well, they can choose to die in your stead, kind of thing, So let's do that again in character keeper order. So Sabine, would you like to choose a challenge first? We do 7 of these and then we're finished.
Okay, I think there is... Oh, I'm starting out on everything is falling apart. We'll take all of our skill and nerve to navigate through this hellscape. So I will draw a card now. I'll just discard these or shove them away. So, okay. Oh, it's a red one. Is that good? I don't know. That's the good one. So, how do I lead us through the worst of it? Pay for tokens. I will go and pay for tokens. I've got lots of tokens.
I think you answer the question, so it's all dictated by you.
Yeah. But I just wanted to get the token stuff out of the way.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Yeah, I think what is happening is here that the time is freezing and then it's hiccuping and then speeding up and stuff like that. And I think we are all trying to get to the center of this where this echo noise song comes from, right? That's what we're looking for, basically. And I think what Rosie eventually realizes is that the echo resonates with her harp. And then she will take out the harp and kind of start playing one of the songs that she says was taught to her. It's the Song of Tamlin, where you would navigate through a fairy ring and to get to lead somebody out of a fairy ring. In this case, though, she'll have to modify it a bit to lead us into what is to her mind not that different from a fairy ring, right? So we will at least get into the building where the Hadron Collider is through all this hiccups and timey stuff and things like that, and some of the appearing shadowy people who might have been us in another dimension. And I really, really never will get over Sky with a mustache, but well, yeah. Anyway.
Nice. And then it is Mario's go to choose one.
I go with, we are confronted by something unreal, horrifying, and larger than life. How is this monstrosity my fault? And I think what we're seeing is Rosie is playing the harp, and then everything resonates. The thing is, my life has been corrupted by betrayal, and I clearly have trust issues and everything. And as I'm part of the team, I've been dragged into the resonance, and then with this whole rift through time and space, each of us becomes an enemy that represents like their arch enemy and their inner turmoil. And when, like, so we see, like, for somebody, there's maybe like a Cyberman again, and then I don't know what. And the thing is,
or Cyber Rosie, like
Cyber Rosie, yeah,
like when she was converted.
Exactly. Yeah. And when I'm fighting, and all of a sudden something draws my attention, and a rift opens, much bigger than the other rifts, and then there comes like a mega Dalek through that rift, and he's all cyber, just like Marcus is.
The Shadowrun Dalek comes through the
exactly. The super cyber mega Dalek.
The 80s cyberpunk Dalek comes through. Nice.
Yeah. So that's where I draw the card. And that is a black one. Ooh. How do I hesitate at a crucial moment? Oh. So this Mega Dalek is really a tough one. But my monofilament blades and whatnot just like cut him into pieces, and it takes a while. Maybe like you battling all different enemies, and I'm just lashing onto that one Mega Dalek, and while dismantling it, the inside of the Dalek looks more and more like myself, because on the inside we're all cyber.
Yes, you went full on conversion into the ultimate form, the Dalek form. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been a cyber warrior myself, and there is clearly a parallel between the Dalek and myself. And I'm not sure, like, I don't want to die, and I feel that this other creature doesn't want to die either. And so I'm hesitate to like bring on the final, I don't know, like EMP whatever thing, blast to it.
Nice. Yeah, and clearly, like, the Dalek betrays your weakness. You are weak. You are not a Dalek, kind of thing. And yes, explosion against you. Cool. So you've paid your tokens, and then it is Rob's turn to choose one.
Okay, so I'm going to choose an old friend appears and betrays us at a critical moment.
Okay.
Why can't we raise our weapon against them? And and I think like this is like one of the other a friend of hers, because the collider is causing all sorts of time anomalies. It's brought her friend back, who is the person that was sent, basically had been hunting them the entire previous season on the Master's orders to destroy the Doctor, and is the person that Sky killed in the finale last season.
Oh yeah, I like that. Like what we thought was a vanquished enemy is now back, kind of thing. What the viewers thought was over, kind of thing. Nice.
And I can't do it again. So I'm gonna draw the card. The card is a red. What words do I say to get through to them? And I think Sky will, and she's at a disadvantage in the fight, even if she was like putting up much of one, because she no longer has her sword. So she's on the defensive, and she's just she gives this speech about how, what the oath that they swore as initiates to the order is not what the Master is demanding of his disciples, and she manages to convince her friend that this is not the way they should be doing things.
Maybe as you finish your speech, you snap the sword, kind of thing, like dramatic impact kind of thing, mirroring the snapping of your own sword. Sweet. Cool. So then it is my one. Our ship, equipment, or technology fails at a crucial moment. How did the enemy sabotage us? And I think that the reason that we can move around in this frozen moment of time is some sort of doohickey the Doctor has whipped up. I think like big chunky bracelets, maybe. Does that sound for people? Like, wear this device and it will keep you synchronized with the TARDIS's local time vortex, rather than the universe is fixed but the TARDIS is still moving, kind of thing. So we'll link to the TARDIS's ability to move through time and space to allow us to move through this time and space. I think that these were actually devices that our former companion created. I think our former companion was like some sort of like brilliant whiz kid, like inventor style type thing. Like, I think maybe like among our group, they would be like the believer, like the sort of young plucky one kind of thing. But they were like inventing stuff, and they were in the last season finale when we originally tackled this problem, which was, if we're happy to go with it, the Silence trying to rewrite history to erase. Why not remember things when you can just make them not happen at all, kind of stuff. That they came up with this device, and I think that it starts to go wrong because we start to flicker back and forth between the current timeline and the previous, the one without them and the one with them, kind of thing. Like they exist because of them, and it's flickering backwards and forwards. I draw the card, and I get the black. Oh dear. What terrible price must I pay to make things right? Gosh, that's a difficult choice in Doctor Who, isn't it? What terrible price must I pay? Especially one for the Doctor. I think that the Doctor, channels like their own time energy into the the bands to stabilize them, because the regeneration and the Time Lord thing means that they have some of this energy as well. But what I think that it does is it starts to destroy the Doctor's memories of all of the time that they've spent together with you all. Cool. So that is that one. I've paid my 6 tokens, and then it's back to Sabine.
Yeah, okay. So I think I'll say that the only way we're getting past this horror is if I confess a dark secret to you. My fear overwhelms me. And I think as this whole we're still unstable, right? I mean, you stabilized it, but it's barely holding. Things are barely holding together. And I think what Rosie will at this point then reveal to you that that I think she has something that might influence the whole thing a little bit, not in a good way, because she has a gift. It's a kind of a time calling device, because while we were in Skies with Sky's people and there were master shenanigans, she was missing for an episode. And actually what had happened there, what the whole crew never knew, is that she met up with the master and they had a little talk and a little more talk. And now she will reveal to you all that she might have seen the master again during our time of separation, and that maybe this device that the master had given her, it's kind of a ring, and you assumed maybe it was kind of a wedding ring even, that maybe this was actually creating some of those distortions around us, and now she doesn't know. She should throw away the ring, but the master told her that this would be instrumental in bringing back Lila. She doesn't know who Lila is, but it seems important at this point. And if you don't mind, I'm just named the Echo Lila.
Yeah, that's perfect. Which one was that again? Sorry.
What? That was the only way we're getting past this horror is if I confess a dark secret to you.
Perfect.
And now I have to roll. I have to draw a card. I'm drawing this one. That's black. That's lovely, I guess. And how do I break your heart when I reveal it? Pay 6 tokens. I do have 6 tokens. But how do I break everyone's heart when I tell you this? Sorry.
Well, how do you, Rosie? How do you, Rosie?
I think it's because I've never told anybody about. We've been on for a while, right? And we've talked about the master and things like that. And I never saw it fit to tell anybody of you about this affair, whatever it was.
Okay, nice.
I think you always thought that Rosie was pretty straightforward gal, right? That she wouldn't hold back something like that.
Yeah, I think I'd like the sort of, what if the ring that you were wearing, I think you said that it was like maybe making things worse, right? Like around it.
It's possible that it's made
but perhaps when it goes like really bad kind of thing, like we're stable, but the whole like we're getting sucked into a void kind of thing, like the one with the universe where it did create a black hole. And you use the ring and it actually works and saves us, and you got that from the master. Like it's actually one of those few times where the master's gift is apparently good. Who knows what dark secrets it might hold, and then it is Mario again.
It is, and I want to go with my past catches up with me, and I have no choice but to face it. Why must I face this alone? And the thing is, I'm still fighting the Mega Dalek. And then my weapon does not work as intended. So all my blades and EMP weapons and everything that could be weaponized fails me. A lot of my cyberware fails me. And then I'm standing there and I'm mumbling to myself and saying, yeah. So this is there's a short flashback when the doctor of the first season in the second episode said, "This is who I am right here, right now. All right. All that counts is here and now. And this is me." And I just remembered that for some reason, even if I haven't been there, and I'm just repeating it. And I'm just throwing away all my weapons. And then I see, yeah, it actually is a duplicate of me that is inside this Mega Dalek, because I have been through my grief and everything. I've become one of the most dangerous and most perfect weapons myself, and they figured that out. And the core of the Mega Dalek is myself, and now I have to fight myself without any weapons, and my other self has a lot of weapons. That's where I want to draw the card.
Could it maybe be cyberspace, like you're cyber decking? You know, like you've moved the space into the hacking sphere, kind of thing, like your mental.
Oh yeah.
So like that's why you're alone as well, kind of thing, because we can't follow you into the cybersphere. Like
that is the true master reality for everything cyber. Yeah, so I'm in the matrix somewhere
Yeah.
deep inside. Okay, and it is a red one. I'm spending my last 4 tokens and I survive. I believed I would have to die here, but apparently I survived. How do you change my mind and back me up? And I think that is directed towards the doctor, and maybe that is how that phrase, I just repeated for myself, comes into play again.
I think that this is a scene where, you know, we, amidst all this like thing, we come across you like locked in, sort of like eyes rotating rapidly around the you know, in your sockets kind of thing, like hacking, and we can see that the Dalek is doing it as well. And like you know, he's all on his own in there, like, oh, we can't help him, kind of thing. And then the doctor just says, yes, we can, and places his hand on Marcus's shoulder. Like,
yeah, cool.
Cool.
And I was imagining that as a scene where we all place our hands on Marcus's, you know, like,
Yeah, absolutely.
maybe Rosie's a big clap on the back, like, kind of thing. Cool. Cool. And then it is Rob, and then I think that is the last challenge. That's 7 challenges.
Yeah. The enemy outnumbers us. We are outmatched and outgunned. Why are we unprepared? So I think like there's this because of the temporal weirdness that's going on. It's one of these moments where different enemies of the Doctor, like we've already got the Mega Dalek that was alternate Marcus sort of thing, and then we get Cybermen and Autons and Jadoon is, and they're all just sort of showing up. And I will draw my card. So that is a black. What foolish gambit do I make that costs us dearly? I think I don't trust the master. I think I'm convinced that the ring that you have is a trap and that it needs to be destroyed, and I just grab it off of you and smash it, and it makes everything worse. Maybe reality starts to tear itself apart under the pressure of all of the paradoxes that are going on.
It all starts to collapse back to that black hole one kind of thing, like, you know, just ripping away in different spots. But I love the idea that Rosie's ring starts to help us, and then Sky's like, no.
It's not that unreasonable. But it was actually keeping us safe from the whole time distortions. He knew it. He liked me.
Cool. And then I think it's actually, I have the last one because we started with Sabine, didn't we? I think. So have we taken Everything Is Falling Apart? It will take all of our nerve and skill and nerve to navigate through this hellscape.
I think we've
they've all
taken
been
all
done.
of them.
Have they all been done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we're through with 7 of these.
Yes, we have done all 7 of them. Sorry, it's just because I've been trying to note them down, but like my notes have not, described the prompts effectively, basically. Cool. So, but I think that as everything goes to hell, I think perhaps what did we call our companion? What did you call it?
Was it Lila?
Lila.
Yes. Lila. Steps through the rift, as the steps out of the black hole, and presses a few buttons, and the kind of thing. And I wondered when you guys would show up. Maybe smashing the ring freed them. Maybe that was the whole. Yes, and so we definitely. Let's see what the last questions are on the. They don't cover this. So, what other consequence? When you smash the ring and it brings Lila back, right? But it has to have some sort of like, kind of like last shot kind of sinister sort of other effect of this kind of re-putting the timeline back to where we were, kind of thing.
I think you see all the monsters, like the Cyber Rosie and whatever else was there. I mean, the Mega Dalek is vanquished, I think, but there was still the Shadow Sky and Cyber Rosie and maybe something that might have been a mustachio doctor, maybe, who knows? They all are free now. The timeline is fixed and everybody goes on their merry way. All these enemies. Everything that we had thrown into the vortex, and maybe we tried to use the vortex to kind of take out the silence, but they're loose now. We got Lila back, but yeah, well,
all those old
the hard-won victory of last season, we undid it.
Yes, I like that for sure. Now there is Cyber Rosie to fight, and all the other things, yeah. And there has to be an episode where the Master and the Doctor from the evil dimension interact with the Master in the Doctor's shoes for once, kind of thing. Nice. Layla steps out of the rift, and so we survived the final mission. Or we all survived the final mission. I suppose if we were only a couple of us really in danger of dying from the looks of things, to be honest. But we did pretty well. I think that's very in theme with Doctor Who, to be honest, anyways. So let's go around again. If you survive this final mission, Sabine, would you like to choose one of those options?
Yeah, maybe I would. Oh, what strange events occur before I disappear, never to be seen again? Oh, I have an idea. Because as Lila steps out of the vortex and everything starts to, it's like afterquakes, like the time thingy is kind of doing, still rumbling. It's clear that it's getting weaker, but it's not quite done. And at that point, you can see among all these enemies that are scattering now, you can see someone who might be the master or not. And they reach out a hand towards Rosie. And Rosie looks at the doctor and looks at the other guys and says quietly, I mean, you can hear, the audience can hear that none of you guys can. She says, maybe I can fix something else here. And then she takes the master's hand and is gone. And who knows if that's even the master of this timeline or of another one. Maybe he's a good master.
Does he perhaps like hold out a hand, you know, like standing in front of the master's version of the TARDIS, and then he takes it, he kisses it, and he leads you inside. Like, yes, very nice. So, Mario.
Yeah, and so we see the Mega Dalek restored after everything has been reset. And I think I just go with what regret do I finally let go of who helps me to do so. Maybe we see one of those incredible doctor speeches, and it's not really addressed to me, but then at some point I just realize I just found a quote.
It's one of those times where the doctor seems to be talking to an invisible audience that might want to get some sort of moral message from the story. Yes. Okay, and then we see the doctor standing there and just holding this incredible speech, and this is the universe has to move forward. Pain and loss, they define us as much as happiness and love. Whether it's a world or a relationship, everything has its time and everything ends. And after that speech, I just realized, okay, maybe it's time to just not regret what happened. Because like the path of war I have chosen wasn't the right one either. So how could I blame anything on the doctor leaving me back then? Because he had his reasons. I'm certain of that now. And I just don't understand everything that goes on within his mind. So I fight my own fights from now on, try to use my powers and my cybernetic skills that I have left to defend the universe. Maybe on my own, maybe our paths cross again, maybe not. Who knows? Nice. You become like a sort of 32nd century Robin Hood type. Like with that, you've put aside your cyber weapons and now you just hack things and like rescue people. And yeah, nice. Become the sort of info warrior of the future kind of thing. Lovely. Yeah, maybe I start a rebellion against the silence. Yes, but without the war this time, just with the spirit. Without the bloodshed. Yes, yeah. Lovely. Rob, how about you?
So what new heartbreak changes me? What do I yearn for? I think we had like a one scene last session where there was some romantic tension between Sky and Rosie. So I think Sky is heartbroken seeing Rosie leave with the Master, and can't accept that it's not like it's the Master. So maybe she's been brainwashed or something, and she's determined that she's going to find her and save her.
Nice. What new heartbreak changes me? I mean, I think that I will just go with the losing the memories type thing that was going on. And I think that as we're all reunited together, you know, we're still looking for Rosie kind of thing. And I think perhaps maybe Marcus's actor has, you know, finally finished his episode deal. So that's why we see him becoming the cyber vigilante. But you know, Rosie, Sky, and the Doctor certainly set out looking for Rosie along with Lila. But you know, the Doctor, the last scenes are of them just looking down at things and just you know, not remembering like any of the details in there, and knowing that this time it's going to go.
Yeah, looking at the Claymore and saying, "Hey, why? Whoever looked at the Claymore and thought this should be more Sonic?"
Yeah, no, the Claymore, like, Lila, pick up your sword. Don't leave it lying around everywhere. You know, wait. Sorry, that's Rosie's. Yeah. Ooh. Oh man, that's gonna be a melancholy season of Doctor Who after that, isn't it? Where he forgets all of his old companions, so that in the next season he can move on to the whole new companions kind of things with everything closed off. Cool. Do you guys want to do the one last question at the end, or we can just stop?
Yeah, my end has been satisfying, so I don't really need anything.
Yeah, should we leave it at that then? Yeah.
No, it depends on others. I think we can choose individually.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
I'm fine. Yeah.
I'm good with my ending as well. But if you want to answer the question, Mario, I'm totally curious.
I think we're all done then. Yeah, that was our season of Once More Into the Vortex. We are hitting the end time, so yeah. Thank you, everyone. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Tell you what? Let's end the broadcast. Say goodbye to the internet.